Okay, just looking at a TS130S today, and back out of bed again, thank God. Sorry, I'm running behind on a couple of things. This is one of them, and you know who you are with the 130. But certainly we'll get a bit of a look at just what's going on here. And okay, so as a rule, when we've had a TS130S sitting around the place for a while, there's one factor that we always do, which is just it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Actually, I normally have my deoxit here, but just some normal service oil will do it. And just spray. And what you'll find is that the switches that were just getting a little bit sort of tight will free up nicely, and each band will actually come up and show. Now, this is a bit of a trick for new players with 130s. If you get a situation where, say, 21 megs or 14 megs doesn't come up, two things, normally it'll be the band switch here that you'll just give a bit of a spray and bingo, it'll come up beautifully every time. Look, the other thing you watch out for is when 18 megs is not able to be got again. Sometimes that'll be that someone slipped a diode for 27 megs and it is not switching back and forth. So basically they've left it in the, they've cut the diode but not put a switch in. Now this one's completely stock, so but what happens is when you go to the 1 meg drop, well, it's actually a 2 meg drop, because what they do is 29 becomes 27, 28 becomes 26. And I'm not a great fan of the mod, to be honest, but anyway, it doesn't matter what I'm a fan of. But yes, when you're on those bands, from memory it's 18 megs and one of the other bands drops out, and so you know straight away that, you know, if 18 megs is missing, that okay, someone's possibly cut the diode. You'll go to 29 megs and you'll go, haha, it's got 27 megs. Now, in our case here, we know 28 is 28, so we're all good. Now, I'm just putting a signal through, putting about 0.7 of a microvolt in there. Not much. I can go down, actually. There's 0.398 of a microvolt, and still hearing it quite well, actually. Just starting to get into the noise there, but no, pretty good. And obviously we bring it up a bit, and we start to see some S-meter movement, etc, etc. Right, anyway, so we know the receiver works quite well, which is great. This 130, I know this one personally, has had a really good history actually, but it has been sitting around for a while, so I did want to spray this assembly here. The other thing too, on 130S's, another trick for new players, if you start to get on sideband, you get this, I've got a bit of noise in this room, but if you get carrier, now we've got nothing there until I talk, we're on dummy load by the way, but if there's carrier there, and let's say it's, you know, S5 carrier with no audio going into it, tighten down all these screws here. It's a real common problem. They have an earthing issue. Don't mind, that's my fingers. But yeah, so just tighten down every one of those screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think from memory. I think I'm not missing any there. And when you tighten those screws down, you'll find wacko. You know, any issues you've had before with that carrier coming up will, we used to get these in the workshop at Jensen's, and you know, and the thing was, look, it took more time to write the job ticket on the radio than to fix the radio, but of course working in a commercial place, they don't let you let these tricks out. So they normally, you know, back in those days, the radio came through, it got thrown on my bench. 5 minutes later, it took more time to take the screws out of it than to fix the fault. We did up all the screws. We normally gave it a good spray as well. We checked the alignment, etc, etc. You know, 5 minutes later, it was back on the finish shelf at, you know, $35, or I think it was $38 an hour back then. I know I was being paid miserable money back then, but look, that's what it was. That's not a having a go at my boss. I got a lot of time for my old boss. Actually had a lot of patience with me. I was a very, very troubled young teenager working for him. He had a lot of patience. For those of you that are Adelaide, you'd remember Jensen Electronics and Steen Jensen, and of course David Green, who I partnered in with a lot of different business up in Malaysia and various things with into Illinois with our mega tracks into Motorola back in the day. So a lot of really good memories that come from those early days. All right, let's just see if we've got any transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is not a peak, but yeah, close enough. That's getting 80 watts there, but trust me, it'll peak sort of 100 watts quite easily. I'm just being a bit careful, but I'm on the 60 watt continuous. So whilst I can get away with that, you wouldn't want to do that, in CW and just hold it down for too long. I've got another module for this, attenuator, sorry, that I can then rescale that, but I just haven't bothered with. This one here is being used mainly for VHF, UHF work out here. I haven't been doing so much HF. This is probably not your best HF monitor, but it's still a great monitor. It does a lot of good things. And look at that. The 10-4 Good Buddy CB radio game. A present from a good mate of mine, Rob Mackey, way back. Never sell that. That's just bloody brilliant. It's actually, it's normally in the lounge room. I don't know how it came. Oh, I know. We bought it out here because of the museum stuff, but normally it's been in the lounge room. Anyway. All right, well, looking good. Certainly, as you can see, it's switching into all bands, no problems. And when I go up to say, on dummy load again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah, no problem. 1, 2, 1, 2. The old 130s, just keep in mind, band to band, they will vary in power a bit, and their highest power will be on their lowest band, their lowest power will be on their highest band as they get older. So, you will find there is some variations. Like we may even find that when I go down to 3.5 megs, hello, 1, 2, hello, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, see, once again, it really depends on just how I'm driving into it. I probably should be using my PEP test set. Sorry, I'll get it right in a minute. The IFR, actually, I tend to like my IFR 500S for getting very good. Oh, well, the 1000S and 1200S I've got, they're really good for peak power measurements. I just think they're very accurate. My Motorola reads a bit low. This reads a bit low, and that's okay. We can live with it. Carry it. Yep, no problems there. But yeah, look, good radios. I'm going to put this one back together. This has got to go to a chap that's been really patient, to be honest with me, with you. Sorry, sorry for just the time it's taken, but have a look how clean this thing is. It is actually pretty good. It's been sitting around for quite a while, but look, good radios, and obviously, as you know, we've got to clear them all out. So we've got a few. Although, just so you know, I will be keeping one 130. I think I'm going to keep the 130V with the TL120 amp, actually. I think that's probably the one that, I just want for my own shack. But, we'll see. We'll see. We may keep it 130S as well. We've got a few of these around the place, 120, 130s. We've even got a brand new 120S lineup that's never been out the box. Well, it has, because I took it out the box once, to be fair. But, yeah, long story, that one. Anyway, all right. Well, that's a quick hit on the TS130. I'll send this video off to my mate just so that it does come with the original Kenwood MC10 mic, so they're getting up close to $100 these days just for a bloody mic. They're getting hard to find in top condition. So anyway, all right, I shall. Original Kenwood lead too. Look at that. So there you go. So it's a pretty original radio, this one. It really is a nice pickup. Just remember those hints though, that if you do get a problem at any stage, don't despair. Get in and just clean these switches up. Fasten that board down, and they really will just sort of keep going for a very long time. They're a great radio. All right, 73s is just a quick 8 minutes. That's short for me. That's good. Maybe I'm finally learning. All right, 73s VK3 Charlie Mike. All the best.